Hello everyone, I'm Tracy. I'm from T12. Now I'm going to do the report about KCG music, and the topic is using machine learning to classify songs as happy or sad. At first, I want to state our main source that K3G Music Enterprises is planning a new music station, which would enable listeners to listen to music based on how they feel. They plan to use machine learning to classify Chinese songs, so we can know their requirement that what they want is translate Chinese lyrics to English, and they want to classify English songs as happy or sad. At last, they want to build an app and host it on platform. So, according to the requirement below, we can know our project and get the project overview. That we need to using tone analyzer to classify songs, and we also need to using Google Translate API to translate lyrics. At last, we need to create web APIs with Flask. At first, I want to statement how to using tool analyzer to classify songs. So at first, we need to know what is tool analyzer, and it uses linguistic analysis to detect joy, fears, and some emotions. We can understand how the writer communications are perceived. And then this is a website interface, and we can input some lyrics. And from this take this example that we can from the school, and we can know it is joy. And from this help me, I'm not good at goodbye, we can know there means some sadness. So how to use it? At first we need to install the Python source and then make some basic authentication. And we also need some data handling method and to do the coding to using the tool analyzer. After we use the tool analyzer, we also using Google Translate API to translate lyrics. What is Google Translate? I think all of us use it, and the Cloud Translate API can translate between thousands of languages. And how we can use it? Just also install the Python source and import the Google Cloud, and we can translate it. And the most important part, we need to create web APIs with Flask and Python. And before we build a Flask project, we need to know what is API and when to create an API. What is JSON, and I will state that for you. At first, what is API? That API can allow for information to be manipulated by other programmers. And when to create an API, that when we need to access our data in real time, and the data changes update frequently. What is JSON? And it is JavaScript object notation, that it is a text-based data storage format, and the rest is means representation state transformer to describe some best practice for implementing APIs. And what is Flask? Flask is a web framework for Python, and it can provide functionality for building web application. So we just use PyCharm to build a Flask project. And after we build the Flask project, we just host a website on Heroku, and this is the interface on Heroku, and we build it, and you can visit it through this link, and we input some lyrics, we can get this result, that whether it is sadness or it is joy. We also do a confusion matrix of tool analyzer API that we directly use a part of raw data as training dataset, and we get the values here. We can get the F1 score and some support score. We can know that our accuracy is 0.67 because they are except joy, but some also other emotions. And we can know that the F1 score of training process is a little higher than the test process. This is some ROC graph we conclude from that. And from that we can know that The Tone Analyzer API can classify the input text to different emotion, and we can see there is a prediction that the score higher than 85%. So I think it is a good model for us to use it to judge the emotions. That's all. Thank you.